My name is Jean Marie Herron. I'm a certified professional organizer and the business development manager for the Junk Luggers. My mission is to improve the quality of people's lives through the decluttering of their homes and offices in an eco-friendly and non-judgmental way. If you'd like to see more of these videos, simply click the subscribe button.
So happy New Year, everybody. My name is Jean Marie Herron, for those of you who may not know me. So welcome to our monthly Zoom Lunch and Learn. And today is all about how to schedule me in 2023 and how to organize your own personal calendar by putting yourself first. So we're really not going to talk about anybody but you today. I wear two hats. I am a certified professional organizer, and I also do the business development for a company called the Junk Luggers, which is an eco-friendly furniture and junk removal company. And on the call with me, I have my assistant, Deborah, who is managing the technology. And also she'll keep people muted. So please do keep yourself muted, and I'll open it up to Q&A at the end. This will be recorded as well. And if you have particular questions, just put them in the chat box for the moment. So we will get started because I only have you for 30 minutes and the clock is ticking. Okay, there we go. All right, new computer. I hit the down arrow, nothing happened. I was about to panic, but now it changed. So today is all about the time management of you. So hopefully what you learn here today will help you grow this year. And, you know, I'm hoping you take away a little tidbit of information that will really help you in your own, not just time management, but self-care. So I know January is a great time to start making plans and intentions, and I want to make sure that you put yourself first on your calendar. So my computer is a little slow. I'm going to start off, if you have a piece of paper handy, if not, this is a little homework assignment, and I want you to really think about the question, what makes you smile? And for every person, and we're going to have a couple of gentlemen on here, so I don't want to stick to the ladies. So ladies and gentlemen, on a piece of paper, either right now or for homework, I want you to truly think about what puts a smile on your face, you know, what makes you happy. You know, spending time with your loved ones, doing puzzles with your loved ones, whatever you like to do. And don't tell me if it's, you know, not kid friendly. Pickleball, scrapbooking, movie night, planning exotic vacations, volunteering at an animal shelter. I said online shopping. I know many people don't have time to go regular shopping anymore or don't want to. A massage. I'm going to share a secret. I lost my virginity to a massage last week, 58 years old, and I just had my very first massage. It was unbelievable. So there's a really big smile on my face right now, but I really enjoyed it. Meditating, journaling, reading. Hiring a certified professional organizer, I said indulge me, but here's another little secret. I'm giving lots of secrets away today. I just hired a professional organizer myself. She lives in Pennsylvania, and she specializes in like file management and things like that. So I indulged myself for 2023 because I want to be able to really organize my files. So think about what makes you smile, and on the next couple slides, I want you to remember what you thought about or what's on your piece of paper. So, because I believe that the best medicine, the best thing we can do for ourselves is take care of ourselves first. And I think for a large part of my life, I never really thought I had a voice or a choice in my own time management, even though this was my life. And it took me a really long time to realize I'm actually the one who plans my schedule. Of course, you know, that's the truth, but I kind of always put everybody else first. So in case you're like me that way and you're really very much a caregiver, I just want to remind you that you have a voice about what it is you want to do in your life, and you have choices. And the best medicine is putting yourself first on your calendar. Okay. So when you thought about what made you smile, and now that you're thinking about what makes you smile, I want to suggest that you take that idea and you think about when would you plant on your schedule those things that make you happy? So for example, I love to hike, and I belong to 2 hiking clubs, and there are particular spots in my calendar where I go hiking. I love to dance. And this year in particular, I'm really practicing a particular genre of swing called Lindy Hop. And one of the things that I think is going to put a really big smile on my face is if I get good enough to go to something called Beantown at the end of June. And it's where everybody in the world who likes to Lindy Hop comes to, I think it's Endicott College in Massachusetts. And, everybody piles in there for a week and they do the Lindy Hop. So if I can get there, the end of June, it's on my calendar. I've blocked out the week. That'll put a big smile on my face. So I want you to think about what you wrote down or what really makes you happy, and start to reflect on when can you do it in terms of days of the weeks, which months this year. That way we can actually calendar it. Because, that wonderful question, it's great that it comes into our head, but if not now, when? So we want to talk about actually blocking it on your real calendar, whether it's a paper calendar or a digital calendar. And I remember back about 17 years ago when I first started speaking with my organizing business, there was the director of the Oakland Library. She gave me a little magnet that I kept on my filing cabinet, and it said, "You can't have everything. Where would you put it?" So that was relative to space organizing, right? Well, I kind of flipped it to a time management position here. You can't do everything. When would you do it? Because we all have the same 24/7. So think about when you would want to plan your smiles. I hit the down arrow again. It's just taking a, there we go. Oh, I keep forgetting you're doing it, Deb. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Here I am. All right, as you know, some of you know if you were on the call a little bit early, I have a new computer and I'm working out the technology. So I forgot I was
trying to take my cues from you.
Okay. Okay, so Deb is going to put in the chat right now a link for something called a time map. It's a really, really simple Excel spreadsheet. And you're all going to be able to take it out of your chat box. And if you don't know how to do that, don't worry about it. We'll teach you when we get to the Q&A section at the end. Okay. But I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a simple Excel spreadsheet. And it talks about the time that you wake up in the morning, or it has 7 days of the week. Monday to Sunday, unless you like to be a Saturday, to however you want to do your week. It's the 7 days of the week. And then I love to set it up with the time that I like to wake up in the morning and the time that I like to go to bed. So it gives you, oh, thanks, Deb. So this is what it looks like. Just leave it to Deborah. I should just ask Deborah. And what I want you to think about is, where would you put these smiles? So I'm going to go back to my example with the hiking, so I typically hike on a Thursday afternoon if I can get it, and one day on the weekend. And for me, when I do my time map, I do all of the things for myself in purple. So I would go in there and I would block the time on the Thursday and the time on the Saturday. For my dancing right now, I go to the Performing Arts Center in Bloomfield every Thursday night. So that's on my calendar in purple. And then I do an every other weekend private lesson on Sunday at 12:30. So that's on my calendar. So I think you start to get the idea. So the idea here is, I'm not talking about everything else in your life. I'm only talking about the things that you want to do this year to take care of yourself, the hobbies, the activities, the loved ones, any of your major goals. Take this time map and fill it out. And this could be any week, right? But what if you want to do different things at different points during the month? Then what you could do is you could copy this 4 times. So if something was in every other week or once a month, that's how you could set it up. But then, Deb, if you go back to that slide with the computer screen. So then, using this as a draft, the Excel spreadsheet, you can now put it into your digital calendar or your paper calendar. So again, for me, you can see the colors here in this example, but I chose purple for myself. So if you were to look at my Google Calendar right now, if you saw any purple blocks, you would know that that was my self-care area. And the great thing about a digital calendar is you can put things on repeat. So I know for the whole year, I've blocked out the things that I really truly want to do. It's already all blocked out for the year. If you have a paper calendar, you can do the same thing. You just have to write it out for the year. So, okay, Deb, you can advance to the next slide. So the reason why I like to give everybody a time map is because it really acts as a home for your time. So if you were to look at a closet, here's a simple picture of a closet. Right now, you'll see that there's dedicated spaces for the ties, the shoes, the purses, the hats, the shirts. When you use a time map and you block your calendar, essentially what you're doing is the same thing. You're dedicating a home for the things that you love to do. So when when I have the purple block for the dance class on a Thursday night, I'm now building my self-care around the other priorities and life choices. And it guarantees time for that dance class. It ensures balance. If you were to do this for every one of your life categories, you would see whether or not you were in balance, but you would be able to prevent, one life category from monopolizing other words. You'd see, maybe I'm working too much. And then you could always change that. And by time blocking, it gives you very much a safeguard to live in the moment. So for example, when I go to a dance, I don't think about anything else while I'm there except for the dancing. So it kind of provides me that time to live in the moment. It's also a great protection against other people's requests. So if somebody says to me, Jean Marie, can you come to a networking event on Thursday night? And I look at my calendar and I'm like, oh, you know what? I've got a dance class that night. I now have a choice to make, right? I can decide, do I want to go to the networking event or do I want to keep my dance class? So by blocking it and having the visual that you've set aside the time for it, it gives you choices. It's also, when you have it time blocked, it has an ability for proper postponement. So, I could look at something on my calendar, if I've got a hike on Saturday and then it turns out it rains, I can figure out, do I want to postpone it? Like, can I flip with my club to a Sunday? And then lastly, it provides a wonderful visual framework for making daily decisions. So if I look at a day-to-day and there's no purple on my day-to-day, I might be very sad. And I might think, is there anything I can put here that's purple? So, right before I got on this call, I got a phone call from the Bookends bookstore downtown, and I'd ordered a book that I'd been waiting for. And some of you might know it, but I actually haven't read it yet. A lot of you may have. It's Atomic Habits. And so it's on order. And so anyways, I've been wanting to read that. So maybe what I'll do is put a little purple block on tonight for reading a few chapters of that. So really, when you do a time map, and I know we're only concentrating on just your personal smiles for today, but it really, really acts as a safeguard. It's kind of like, again, I just want to refer back to organizing space. You give something, like right now on my desk, there's a plant, and this is where the plant lives. It's got a home. So when you put that block on your time map, you're giving yourself a home for your time. And I think that's where a lot of us struggle. I just don't think we give enough time to ourselves. So I'm good with that slide, Deb. All right. So I'm going to open it up to Q&A in just a minute, but I want to say that for every minute of organizing, an hour or a smile is earned. So this may sound like a really simple exercise to do, but I will double dog dare you to do this, because I know that this has changed people's lives. So I definitely want you to do that. I'm ready for the next slide. So I think there's going to be a lot of questions. So next month, it's all on Love Your Morning Routine. For those of you who are here for the first time, we always have this information on the possepartnersllc.com/presentation website. If you get my monthly newsletter, it will include the link, and it's also on social media. If you don't get my monthly newsletter and you would like to, just send Deborah a note in the chat. Okay, Deborah, next. Yep, and this is how to reach me. Most of you know how to reach me, but Deb can put this information in the chat as well. But what I'd like to do is go out right now and stop sharing and go right to questions and questions and answers. And if there happen to be no questions, I would love for people to talk about what some of their smiles are and how they're going to get it on their calendar this year.
Hey, Jean Marie, I'll go first before I stop sharing. This is
Sure.
My Google Calendar, and I use colors just like you do. And green is my happy color. So everything grayed out over here, if it's been done, it's grayed out. So you can see I've got my Pilates, I've got my HIIT class, I've got lots of green. One of the things I did was my daughter's a teacher, and she has I have a 10-year-old granddaughter, and then the baby's almost 2. And when the baby was born, I didn't get as much time with my 10-year-old granddaughter. So I took the school calendar and blocked out all the teacher dates. And I'm taking a half day. So when I leave this meeting, I'll go pick up my 10-year-old granddaughter and we'll have half day together. So this is an example of like your color. For example, next week, I have a lot of green here because I get to go to Colorado. But like you said, the green makes me happy. And when I have the green on my calendar, nothing messes with my gym time in the morning. So anyway, that's how I have used the time mapping, just as you described, so that I block my smiles in.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Deb.
Also, Jean Marie,
All right.
you wanted me to share the link for my perfect week class. So I will put that in as well.
Okay. Yep. So that link that Deb's putting in now, I did a 90-minute recording all on the time map for setting up your entire week with all your life categories, not about the one section. You know, today we're just talking about putting yourself on the calendar relative to self-care for all of 2023. But that particular recording is how do you take your whole life? Like, how do you take the work and the family and all the different departments, if you will, of your life and create a time map that works for you? So when Deb shared her screen, you know, that could have been a combination of both her professional and her personal life. So the idea for that particular course is, how do I fit it all in? So that's that. Thanks, Deb. Okay, so we can chat here.
I'm just loving Sue's picture right here. I mean, she's multitasking. Look at that little pumpkin having her lunch. Oh my goodness.
That's adorable.
Anne, you have a question?
Yeah, I do, because I seem to have so many. When you said what makes me smile, I seem to have 8 things, and I'm just wondering, how do you then program 8 things into your calendar? And it's all a lot of different learning and subjects and plant-based courses and, you know, different things dealing with makeup and dancing and of course.
So based on that 8-item list, I would say to myself, which of those items are date specific or time specific? So, you know, which of those things do you only have an opportunity to do because somebody else is, you know, teaching the course at that time, and that course is 2 hours. So find out when that is. And then the things that are not time sensitive, and you can choose yourself, you know, learning opportunities that you find online. And then you can say to yourself, just how much time do I want to dedicate this to? So let's just say you're really interested in learning about plant-based eating, and you're going to learn a lot of that yourself, however that is, you know, finding online courses, looking for certain books, etc. You can say, how much time a week or a month or even a day do I want to dedicate? Like some people have, like I myself, I have a scheduled reading time per day, because I know that if I don't schedule my reading time, I won't read. I also know I can't read at night because I'll fall asleep. So I schedule my reading time really early in the morning.
I see.
Did that help?
That helped quite a bit. And then also I noticed in the different calendars, there's green in different days. I have just a regular calendar. So I'm just wondering, how would I get the green, the purple and all that?
Colored pencils or highlighters. So you can decide like, what category, what colors you want to use.
Okay.
It would be a little more time intensive,
Mhm.
but
Okay,
and
so
if you wanted to save time, you could just outline the box or the time.
Oh, that's good to outline the box in that colored pencil.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next. If you have a question, please feel free to unmute. We have about 9 minutes left. And if there are no questions, I'd love to hear what your smiles are for 2023. I think I'm looking at one right now. One's eating.
Hi, Jean Marie. Happy New Year.
Hi, Sue. Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you. Same to everybody. Yeah, this is my little gift. She's almost 9 months old, my daughter's daughter. And
Congratulations.
yeah.
Is she on your calendar?
Yeah, you know what? She's one of my smiles, actually. I have her all day Tuesday and all day Wednesday from 7:30 to 5:30. But it's,
Okay, that's a good block.
it's not forever. Just to get her through the winter months of away from the colds at daycare. But anyway,
And do you have any other smiles that you want to schedule this year?
for me?
Mhm.
Oh, gosh. Let me think about it more. You're getting my thinking going, and I think
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, because right now my mom is 94 and my mother-in-law is 101, and I don't have too many smiles of my own.
Okay, well,
We're taking care
something
of
to think
everyone else.
about. Something to think about.
Yeah, thanks. You always have good ideas.
Okay. All right. I know there's things in other people's heads that make them smile. Don't make me pick you out. Diane, you're raising your hand. Come unmuted.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm thinking, I always say I want to go to St. Petersburg. I want to go to St. Petersburg. And I'm like, well, you know what? In order for that to happen, I have to pick a weekend.
Yeah.
And then, make a hotel reservation and a dog, sitting. And so I really I want to do that because otherwise it'll be May and I'll be driving home and like, oh, I never got to go there.
Right. Diane, as you were talking, something just came into my head that might be helpful. If you have thoughts like that are popping in your head, and again, it's that, if not now, when am I going to plan this? What if everybody was to put a little block of time in their week, a little box of purple for like an hour somewhere on a downtime, maybe for somebody that's an early Sunday evening or an early Saturday morning. And during that hour, you think and you make plans for the things that you want to do. So that's your self-care hour, maybe your self-care thinking hour. And that hour, so where our brains are tickled because we just implemented it, we just scheduled a time block. And now we go, what did I say I was going to do this hour? Oh yeah, this is the hour that I said I would give myself to plan all the things that I want to do this year. Oh, I wanted to go to St. Petersburg. You know what? I can do a half an hour of airline searching today, or I can look for an Airbnb today. So if you time block just the thought of planning self-care, now you've scheduled that, and each week you will be reminded, you will be tickled to do something for yourself at a different date this year.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Because I
think, Jean Marie, too, we have to remind ourselves they don't have to be big trips, big things.
Yes.
It can be 30 minutes of reading or quiet time or social media, if that's your thing. So those little pockets every, day, find 30 minutes.
And when an idea like that pops into your head, you can throw yourself a digital note in your phone or a Post-it, and put it on your desk. And that way, when the time comes, but I'm glad you said that, Deb. It doesn't have to be big things. Like this weekend on Sunday, my son turned 21 and I promised him a lovely steak dinner and his first legal drink, right? Well, that's what I thought we were doing. And then Sunday morning came and he called me and he goes, I'd really like to go up to Connecticut and see my friend. And I'm like, oh, so you want to go to Connecticut and see your friend instead of spending your 21st birthday with your mother? And that's what he wanted to do. So I have it in my notebook, take it, I owe him a dinner and a drink. There you have it.
Well, and with stuff on your calendar, you have plenty of things to go through and decide what you're going to fill that time with.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
That's what's good about planning.
All right. Any other planners? So maybe that poses the question, what do you want to plan that you haven't planned? And maybe just stick a calendar assignment right now in to plan it. Not the whole, just that thought. Yeah. Otherwise we forget it. And then like you said, Diane, you get to the end of the year and you're like, oh, you know what? I really wanted to do blah, blah, blah. And I didn't get to it.
Yes. I've had a lot of coaching with my calendar, but I really don't have something that is like the week, like for just long-term plans. It doesn't need to be that long, but like long-term planning is something that I never put in my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, long-term planning, some things take a long time. Like, let's just say, and I don't know if this is a smile for people, but it could be. So let's just say you don't have a long-term plan policy, but you want to have a long-term plan policy. And that could be hours worth of work in terms of research and contacts and all of that. But when you're done, it might put a smile on your face because you're relieved that that's taken care of. So, that's another opportunity to go ahead and do a placement for that. So we have 2 more minutes. So people are still free to talk. I will take this last 2 minutes to put in a plug for what I do and say, if anybody wants to declutter their home or business this year and you want to do it in a sustainable way, don't forget that I work for the Junk Luggers, and I do private organizing on the weekends. So that was my plug.
All right, bye.
Happy New Year.
Remember, if you want to see more videos on my organizing, productivity, and decluttering topics, hit the subscribe button and you'll be alerted when the next one is ready.